Hey everyone, welcome back. First off, I just want to say thank you for all the support on last week's Marathon video. That stream was honestly just me sharing my hype for the game with my Twitch community, so seeing people enjoy it and check it out here has been awesome. Seriously, thank you. In this stream, we dive into the Marathon ViDoc, take a closer look at the runner shells, and even revisit the cinematic short Bungie released last year to get a better feel for the world and lore of Marathon. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm getting more hyped the deeper we go. Also, who caught the new trailer during the State of Play? We've got the server slam coming up, and I'll definitely be jumping in and streaming that. If you're planning to check it out too, let me know in the comments. Alright, we got a lot to go through, so let's get into it. Alright, so this right here is the ViDoc that Bungie put out for Marathon in December. To kind of go over like the changes from the feedback that they've got from the alpha testing and kind of go over like, you know, the weapons, the maps, the runner shells, which they, you know, didn't really go too much in depth with like for all of them until this point. But it's very exciting. Let's just get it.
Players want more challenge. The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive in this world.
We heard loud and clear from the alpha, the world didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
Tau Ceti 4 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there. And that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of world that we're creating.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath the surface, even when the colors are really bright.
You should not be here.
We want to marry the classic Bungie game feel, where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks, either risks from other players or risks from AI.
So we have all these tools now, Rook with Prox Chat and the way the game works and sort of how tense it is. I think all those things work together really well.
See ya. We have another Rook. Come on, stop that. No. Sorry.
Marathon.
The Marathon ship is essentially a ship that we sent out from Earth, an Earth that was overpopulated, to explore and colonize a star far away that we call Tau Ceti. In a lot of ways, it's like the tale of humanity trying to go out into the dark void of space, find a place to colonize, and failing terribly at it.
Everyone's gone, something catastrophic happened, and it's not just their absence that's important, it's the things that they left behind.
The modern race to Tau Ceti all started when a mysterious signal came through the galaxy.
The turmoil that sort of ensues gives rise to all these corporations that were invested in this Marathon project, now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations and revolutionary groups.
In our version of the world, we send people out, not just to discover what happened, but also to collect from the things that remain there, and those people are runners.
As a runner, you're a biocybernetic mercenary who's traded their human body for a biosynthetic one.
You're not an unkillable god slayer. You are a mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people. You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt the personality matrix that is specifically designed to help you do the thing that you need to do. And you've been hired by these factions to come to Tau Ceti to scavenge it for anything that might be of value.
As a runner, you've left your body behind. You've traveled light years so that you can have access to the ultimate payday.
With extraction shooters, it is all about survival. There are other people who want the same things that you want, and it's up to you to best them.
But there's quiet periods where you're listening for the anticipation of something. Could there be another crew in the distance? Did I just hear a gunshot? Did I hear AI just alert? And then there's the loud, bombastic action moments where the minute something is alerted, the minute you're in that fight, now it's go time.
Sexy Warrior in the chat, what up?
Players particularly pose a lot of danger to you. They can make a lot of decisions that you might find illogical and completely trick you into scenarios. Sometimes the best loot box is another player that you see along the run. So there's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in crew, both with your friends and also through crew fill, which will just match you with 2 other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo players.
In solo, I think the stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
You still have prox chat, so you can call out to other solos, but you are playing a tense alliance game where it's really up to them whether or not they decide to honor or respect that alliance you might have created.
It's all about figuring.
Yeah, that's something that was a complaint in the alphas, was no prox chat, no proximity chat, which it means that if someone is near you, they can hear you if you're talking into a mic. That was one of the things that people complain about in the alpha, but then also the way the game works is very quick-paced fighting, that people were also saying that in the testing when they did do proximity chat, not many people were using it anyways. So it's going to be interesting going into this game and seeing if proximity chat is actually utilized in this game, or if it's literally just shoot first, ask questions later type of thing, which is what I feel like the vibe is going here with Marathon.
What's your investment, what's your stake, when to get in, when to get out, and when to kill the other guy. Being good at Marathon is like playing poker with guns.
One of the things we've really focused on is making sure the environments are selling the tone we want to hit with the game.
We've brought a little bit of groundedness, a little bit of grit, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of that mood that kind of is necessary for an extraction shooter to feel dangerous.
Our biggest goal has always been player immersion.
We're trying to keep everything as believable and realistic as possible.
So we cranked up all the material responses, feel accurate, feel realistic. You'll get gloss, you'll get crud and mud. And no one of those things is all that sexy, but when you layer in just a little bit more, responsive to light, a little bit more responsive to the player, things will part, water will pool, layer in all these different things, the world becomes much more alive. It feels like a real place. And then when you're feeling like a real place and you feel in danger, now your run matters.
I look back at some of the alpha shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy. Weather feels like weather now.
Now they're showing
like when it's sunny, you get this really nice bleaching effect. It feels bright. It feels like warm when it's sunny now. I feel like we're just celebrating shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy.
It's rainy.
Weather
here,
feels
right?
like weather now.
Boom!
Like
Look
when
at
it's
that.
sunny.
Damn. Mystical, Mystical, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome to the Apple.
You get this really nice bleaching effect. It feels bright.
Oh, it is. Just look at that wall.
It feels like warm when it's sunny now. I feel like we're just celebrating that color so much more. I think it just contributes to the whole
light off
just
the gun.
celebrating that
light off the gun
color so much more. I think it just contributes to the whole effect.
So we have dead bodies in the game now. We also have decay.
This is another thing that I mentioned last week. The dead bodies. So when people die, it's just a loot bag that they drop. Like their body isn't there. It's just a loot bag, and people were complaining about that. So this is
On the runners themselves, you'll actually see them fall apart. We're actually dropping the body. The body stays there, and the body slowly decays over time as you loot it.
So you come into a room and you see a bunch of carnage, but you see one body is still pristine, you know that their killer is probably close, and you are not safe. If everybody is just a messy goop, you're probably okay.
We're just watching some Marathon videos, getting hyped for the game.
Audio is a huge gameplay component in Marathon. Every sound plays a function.
audio is so, like that feels so, just watching this, like you imagine playing this game. Like that, it feels like it'd be so like almost like a horror type of vibe, you know? It's just creepy.
Footsteps tell players everything. It's telling you what is the type of threat that's around you. Where are they at? Are they above you? Are they far away? Are they close by? So if I'm in bioresearch and I hear a particular material type, I know, hey, they're on the second floor and they're in this room. Our hero is the world. So we're constantly trying to figure out where can music help reinforce what is the vibe and intent of this place.
There was the discussion about the interaction between score and sound design. And I wanted to create a score that wasn't just like full of instruments you've heard before. The job was, how can I make what I'm seeing, this race to survival, even more nervous and even more terrifying or even more thrilling?
I mean, that creeps me out.
We have 4 zones,
so
and each one of those zones has its own sort of approach to kind of level design and what it asks players to kind of think about and do.
You're going to start look at the maps
perimeter.
now.
You're kind of on the outskirts of the colony. It's a little more spread out. You got a little bit more areas to be safe and to sneak around, but it's also a little more straightforward.
It really brings this sense of scale. It sits like in our fantasy as expansion site for the colony on the very edges of where they had settled on Tau Ceti. UESC are also there trying to understand what has happened and secure the area. Death is a part of Marathon. It happens a lot, even on perimeter, which we talk about as a more friendly zone to new runners. You are still gonna die a lot.
You're going to die a lot.
Attention, unauthorized runner. You are trespassing in a military security zone.
It was really important to us that the UESC were not trivial to fight.
When you face them on Tau Ceti as a runner, you are the outlaw. You are trespassing.
They have a little bit of this haunted tone. So you can see they have this floating locomotion, they get these sparks, they have these sigils over their faces. Sometimes their behavior feels almost like they're possessed a little bit, like are they taking in commands from a remote AI?
Remote AI?
The elite tier is sort of like this dark blue.
Foreshadowing to something maybe?
The mini-boss tier is more like a lilac. The boss tier is just gonna be dipped in red.
They have these tendrils that latch out and leech onto you and start sucking away at your consciousness.
Berserk, are you guys waiting for the PlayStation thing? We are going to be streaming it, yeah. We're going over some Marathon
something
videos,
bad happened here, and you're seeing signs of that in a way that wasn't apparent on perimeter.
On Dire Marsh, we've got the anomaly, and it's this strange alien entity that has erupted up out of the ground.
What time?
You're really feeling
Starts
signs
at
that this is
5
more of
p.m.
an
Eastern,
epicenter of where
so
things
about
went wrong on
2.5
this
hours.
colony.
It's got a different style of gameplay. It's more like a central complex that is rich with overlapping areas and regions that you can find yourself kind of bleeding from one encounter to another.
It's a great map to go in when you just want some action, and you're gonna need somewhere to farm.
Each map has different weather systems, it has different dynamic events that can happen, and your approach to them is never going to be consistent.
One of the needs that the design team thought that we should have is more challenging PvE activities.
Each of our zones has these bigger events that don't happen every session, but when they do happen, you'll know they're happening.
So like, almost like public events, like I was saying last week in Destiny, kind of, just random PvE events that can attract players towards, you know, higher risk, higher reward type of thing.
Building these types of events into the world, shake up
You're
your
excited
run,
for
and make
Marathon
you
too?
decide, like, what do you want to risk?
Then you get
Did you get into any of the alpha testing at all, Berserk? I never did. So I'm just like, I've never played it before, so I'm very much looking forward to whenever the free weekend they're doing is. I'm excited for that. And obviously the launch.
Post.
So that last area we looked at was Dire Marsh, which, like, I think out of all the 4, that's probably the one I'm more intrigued by. Just like the aesthetic of it. Now we're getting to the third one, Outpost.
An Outpost is a more fun.
I was so sad about it either. I've seen a lot of the gameplay. Oh, I've been watching so many videos. Like every day, just getting so hyped for this. Game looks so good.
Functional, thriving UESC facility. There's scan drones flying overhead, the UESC's everywhere, there's tripwires, there's a weather hazards. It's a lot of stuff you're up against from the get-go.
Outpost is a smaller map, but it's also a lot more vertical. It's
like as you're progressing with these maps, they're obviously like increasing the difficulty, adding more enemies, more enemy types, it seems, and more obstacles and stuff. Which is very interesting, especially when we get to the 4th map.
Built around a specific building that we call the Pinwheel.
This is just this meat grinder of a structure that's like a corkscrewed building that has nooks and crannies and hallways, and it just becomes a real, real cluster when you're in there fighting.
The floor is raised on Outpost and nothing is free. The Pinwheel hosts some of the best loot opportunities.
But it's noisy, players are going to know you're doing it, so there's extra risks.
Oh. Just spawned in.
The character you're going to spend the most time with is the zones. Understanding each personality of every zone. That's the storytelling every player gets.
Every time you're on the planet, you can look up and see the ship floating and looming in the skybox, reminding you of why this place even exists, but also reminding you that something up happened here, and you got to figure out what it was.
Marathon has a lot of loot in it. It's a huge pie. There's a ton of different implants at every rarity. There's a ton of different runner cores for each runner. There's over 400 weapon mods. Like, it's just an outlandish number of items to collect.
There's going to be a really interesting period of discoverability where players sort of figure out what are the pieces that I have available to me, how do I get them, and how do I put them together into something that's awesome.
And watching like the gameplay of this game, like the reloading of guns just seems so satisfying. Like the audio and just the visual like of it, and just it looks so satisfying.
You can go through and look at how many iconic weapons have come from Bungie. And it's something that we really want to hold up and make sure that we're matching that legacy.
Visually, they're all really, really distinct and clearly Marathon. But we wanted animation-wise, a majority of them to feel recognizable.
Yeah,
so when you put them in your hands, you knew how to use them.
Mods will basically allow you to increase certain stats on the guns, that battery SMG. The gold mod, full-blown, turns it into the Needler.
Into the frickin' Needler. I can't wait to test that mod out.
The sidearm is a gun that is effective in close quarters, but maybe not too much outside of that. But the gold mod on this gun puts a suppressor on it, and then when I kill something with this gun, I turn invisible. And then that lends it to other build crafting if I want to sort of stack into how invisible can I be.
So with a gun, with the pistol mod, like you just said, you kill someone, you turn invisible. So not only like if you're the void shell, which you can turn invisible, like with the ability, but you can be any shell and potentially turn invisible just with the pistol. Which can give you an edge in a fight because the dude doesn't see him coming. Dude doesn't see him coming, which allows him to get the first couple shots off.
Even some weapon mods can improve stats and your runner shell's capabilities. So there's lots of different ways to raise the floor of your stats so that you're coming into each run strong.
That right there, this shell is one of the like the newer shells that they didn't talk to at first. which essentially is like more of a support shell. So what he's doing here, setting up an ability. As you see, this guy's down, his buddy's down, this guy's about to go down. And he just instantly brings him back up.
Runner shells are a bioprinted body that you inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of the Lost Colony. Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay. So if you want to play like a frontline tank, if you want to play a rat character that wants to sneak around, if you want to find those rats, we have a shell for you.
See that?
The idea there is like
Void goes stealth, right? But with the recon shell,
play a rat character that wants to sneak around.
Right, this is Void going invisible.
If you want to find those rats,
this is recon, the one with the face shell that opens up and you do the ping.
We have a shell
going on right here. You can see there's no one there, but it still pings them. That's Void. It's a dude running around invisible.
the idea there is like have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on top of that.
Cores and implants mold the kit into a playstyle that you want.
So examples of those are like, on Thief, I get a second grapple. On Destroyer, I pull out my Riot Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
And these can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style, and implants mold the kit into a playstyle that you want.
So like cores are right here. And they're, like they said, they're shell exclusive. So like Destroyer cores can't go into a Void shell. You know what I'm saying? They're only for the Destroyer's abilities. And vice versa, any of the shells.
So examples of those are like, on Thief, I get a second grapple. On Destroyer, I pull out my Riot Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually...
You can see his shield right here.
Barricade, and as it takes damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
Like and these can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit.
Or health and shield, you get the better.
At any point you feel like you don't want to risk anything, or maybe you're down on your luck and you want the opportunity to get back, Rook's your guy.
This is the one that I find like very interesting. I'm very curious how like to play this guy and see how it goes in the game.
Rook is a prototype runner shell.
It's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible.
You are going in solo to a run that's already in progress. You don't have a team, you have a very limited loadout, but you're not risking anything. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
So essentially like the free loadout, or I believe it's a scav run in Tarkov. Correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't played Tarkov. But essentially it's like, you know, you don't have a lot of stuff in your vault, or you don't want to risk anything, you want to go in, you become Rook, and you have a limited loadout kind of thing. Not that, like, not a crazy weapon or anything, and you can just sneak around taking loot. The game's already in progress. You don't start at the beginning of a game, meaning the players in that game have already probably gone through and got the best loot, like gone into the best loot spots and stuff. So you're probably not going to find a lot of like the best stuff, but still, like, you know, still some loot that you can get back on your feet and do another run in, you know, a proper shell and with proper weapons and better weapons and stuff like that.
So when you get like a really powerful gun or implant or core, it is unlocking some new space or new challenge that you've never done before, and the loot is helping you reach greater heights.
Faction agents are such a big vehicle for tone and narrative for the world.
So now they're talking about the different factions. Right, you got Arachne, Cyberarachne, New Caloric, Sakaguchi, Traxxas, and Maida. He's gonna. This guy goes over.
Each faction has their own motivations, their own desires, the things they're going to ask you to do.
We've got Traxxas. They're the most powerful corporation in human history. They have very long arms and very deep pockets to kind of get what they want.
So they might.
Traxxas in the lore of Marathon. Again, I'm not like a lore master. I don't know like all of it, but from my understanding, Traxxas was the corporation that essentially like funded or like did a large investment into the Marathon project, the ship that came to Tau Ceti and the one that's in the sky, that's in the within the moon of Mars, Deimos. So that's Traxxas, and they essentially want to like recoup their investment as much as possible. That's what's going on in this game Marathon.
Ask you to go and find specific weapons or mods.
Congratulations, runner. Your last performance evaluation was rated on track.
If you're a PvP player, one of the factions is called Arachne. They're essentially
Arachne is probably like the most popular one in the community right now, and he's about to say why.
Essentially a death cult. What that translates to is that they're asking you to go and kill other runners.
The sacred thermodynamics of violence.
Maida is all about destruction. They are going to give you grenades, they're going to give you claymores, they're going to let you blow the place up.
And they are irreverent and dangerous. They might ask you to upload this malware into a UESC dropship, and as it leaves, it explodes and careens off into the distance.
We have big plans. Explosive, visionary.
Each of our factions has an upgrade tree that you unlock progressively as you gain reputation.
So I'm curious as how like this is each faction they're saying. So you see up here, Cyber Acme, New Caloric, Traxxas, Maida, Arachne, Sakaguchi. They each have their own kind of like almost like a skill tree type of thing, right? You do a run representing one of these factions, you earn more reputation or whatever. You can unlock more stuff here, gaining ability upgrades, like right here, agility plus 20, for example.
Reputation with them.
And along the way, you're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone, you're gaining access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
And there's also skins related to each faction. You know that. Well, that's exciting.
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season, you hear that?
You're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone, you're gaining access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
Rest of the season. So they're doing like, again, I can't compare to Tarkov because I haven't played Tarkov. I'm sure Tarkov is like, some of this stuff is essentially like what Tarkov did, because that was like, at least to my knowledge, the first big extraction shooter. And I've played a bit of Arc Raiders, so like if I'm doing any comparison, it's to Arc Raiders because that's the only one I'm familiar with. But essentially their seasonal thing is like with Arc Raiders doing an expedition where you have to get, in Arc Raiders you have to get a certain amount of materials and amount of currency, and then you send off the expedition and it resets your character. It's like you're starting over, but then it gives you some kind of like buff for like the next expedition or season. So Bungie's obviously doing a similar thing. So there's going to be like, a seasonal reset kind of thing. So I'm curious to see how they go about doing that.
Access denied.
Darius, you know me. Did you miss your last round of maintenance?
Also, another thing we're going to be talking about today is the voice acting in this game. You are probably going to recognize some familiar voices, like the AI that's talking here, the the male voice you're hearing in this conversation is Neil Newborn, I believe. I kept calling him Neil Newborn, but it's not Newborn. Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3.
Don't touch, don't tick, don't question.
Serious?
Access denied. Access
Hey, it's
denied.
okay. It's just me.
You're not alone.
The codex is a suite of achievements, collectibles, audio logs, things that you're finding in Run that we're going to track for you over time. The more you find these items, the more story you're unlocking about them and what their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them, why they're as valuable as.
So this is essentially how Bungie is going to be progressing like the story and the lore of the game is through these items and codex entries. So while you're doing a run, you know, you're looting and stuff, but then the factions have their missions that you can do where you can unlock, I guess, codex entries for each of the factions and stuff, but then they have items in the game where I guess it does the same.
They are.
I'm repeating myself with these entries, but
Here's another familiar voice if you've played Red Dead Redemption 2.
any fears inherent in the scope of this endeavor seem unfounded.
Within the codex, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can unlock. Runner skins, weapon charms, stickers, emblems, backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So it's everything from your first steps on the world of Tau City 4 all the way through to becoming a vid master and taking on the most.
So what that guy previously was essentially saying was like all the cosmetics that you can unlock in the game.
Your profile and titles. So it's weapon charms,
right?
Stickers
right here.
Emblems, backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So it's everything from your first steps on the world of Tau City 4 all the way through to becoming a vid master and taking on the most extreme challenges.
And finally, we get to the fourth map, and this is essentially going to be like you've played Arc Raiders, like the Stella Montis of Marathon.
The Marathon ship is the hardest place to survive in this game. And if you're not ready to take your best stuff, well, you're not going to survive. It's like a heist for a runner. Cryo Archive is big in and of itself, but it's also cold. It's also hostile.
This being the Cryo Archive, I know a lot of people have already mentioned this, but I just want to point out that like this is on the Marathon ship, the Cryo Archive on the Marathon ship. So you got to think Marathon traveling 300 light years from our solar system. People went into cryo. I'm sure we're going to learn more about that. Maybe even see people in cryo. Who knows?
It's going to test every aspect of the survival game. Probably going to be forced to run to players in ways you haven't been on other maps. You're going to run into basically every type of environmental threat you have faced before. You're going to fight a who's who of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
Yeah, so again, bumping up the difficulty from map to map. This one, like, the highest UESC presence, they just said. So, not only, like, you're still fighting, you know, other players and stuff, but there's going to be even more NPC characters there patrolling as well.
It's really cool because each of the vaults is more successively challenging than the next. And that 7th vault is where you both are going to get the coolest thing, but also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
At some point in your...
Now, there's this 7th vault he talks about. I don't know much about what that is. I'm assuming that's in the Cryo Archive, and it's some kind of like unlockable area, maybe. If anyone knows, let me know.
of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
It's really cool because each of the vaults is more successively challenging than the next.
Each of the vaults. Okay, so I guess like in Cryo Archive, there's like more than one vault you can like go into.
7th vault is where you both are going to get the coolest thing, but also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like you get you know, there's locked rooms that you need to find keys for to unlock it and loot it and stuff. So I wonder if it's the same thing here with the vaults. You find the keys for the vaults and then you can go on a run and unlock that, like whatever vault the key.
At some point in your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if the UESC are there to keep you up.
Yeah, see, there you go. There was some people in...
At some point in your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if...
Human. Frozen asset. Oh, that's not... Doesn't sound good. But I guess that's a person in Cryo right there.
If the UESC are there to keep you out, or if they're actually there to keep something else in.
Keep something else in. Like a spit. I'm curious. They have not shown any gameplay with this thing. I'm very curious to see how this plays. Like, obviously you gotta fight this freaking thing, right? I know in the original Marathon trilogy games, you fight these guys. So I'm just curious to see how that plays out.
Nice.
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Marathon is getting into the hands of our players.
The biggest thing I want people to take away from Marathon is that it still feels amazing. It still feels like it has that spark.
It takes all the aspects that I think Bungie is really good at. First-person feel and gunplay, the super deep, crazy sci-fi lore, and it mixes up all those things together in a really amazing PvP package.
Really comes down to every single discipline that's working on the game. The animation has to be good, the sound has to be good, everything has to be working in harmony.
That's when the controller fades away, the screen fades away, you're just immersed in the world. That is what we're trying to live up to with Marathon.
It is a mad dash. I'm not going to front about that. It's a mad dash to the finish, but that's when you got to put in the elbow grease and the extra sweat and blood it takes to get this done.
Yeah.
What is this? What is it? Let's go. 5 people in the extract.
Marathon. Yeah. That was the ViDoc going again. The updates they've done with how the world looks, the weather system, the during the day, how it looks in regards to like raining, stuff like that. More on the runner shells, they showed more Rook, which was again one of the ones that I'm very curious how that's going to play out. If it's going to be like it's going to be tough to play Rook, like someone sees Rook, they're immediately just going to kill him kind of thing. We'll see how that goes. They showed off the maps, talked about some weapons and mods and stuff, and more intrigue with the lore of World of Marathon and Cryo Archive and all that stuff, which is what is initially hooked me was the lore. So very interested about that. But the next video here, talking about the runner shells. So they're going to go into depth they're going to go in depth with each of the different runner shells. So let's just go right into it.
Runner shells is what we're calling the bioprinted bodies that you, the runner, inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti. Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay.
So abilities, passives, stat packages married to a very distinct silhouette that then players can look at, 50, 60 meters away and say, oh, I know what that is. I know what that player is capable of, and I can start to think about how to counteract it.
One of the things we really want to do from the build crafting side is making sure that we're providing people ingredients instead of what we want to do from the build crafting.
So this is Thief, by the way. Thief? Yeah, this is Thief. They're gonna grapple, use like a grapple hook to kind of fly up. And this person literally shoots them out of the air and they just drop.
One of the things we really want to do from the build crafting side is making sure that we're providing people ingredients instead of giving them a recipe. Figuring out what you want for your build that is unique, and you do that across cores, you do that across implants, you do that across weapon mods. Cores are powerful standalone perks that can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit. We also want to make sure that there are interesting combinations of things that work together, but they have.
So implants. So what they just showed before was a core, which is runner shell specific, and these implants you can put on any shell.
Hooks that go out into the other systems, so you can create this like crazy Rube Goldberg machine.
Depending on your playstyle, if you're like someone who hangs back and likes to snipe, you're someone who likes close quarters combat and you're gonna rush in, you're gonna wanna cater the items that you're finding differently.
The idea there is like, have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're gonna build on top of that.
Our first shell, the Destroyer.
Destroyer is aggressive, brutal, wears a modified, futuristic version of the Mjolnir armor from the original trilogy.
The shell is designed to get into the fight as fast as possible and stay there. It comes equipped with thrusters on its legs that let it sprint faster, or you can use them for a quick lateral evade.
A riot barricade so that they can generate presence and they can generate almost like aggro for their team.
Prime ability is Search and Destroy, which activates shoulder-mounted missile pods.
I appreciate you
that
leaving
fire heat-seeking missiles.
They have a way to lock down targets over sustained fire, which immobilizes them and allows your team to follow up. Down targets.
Shoulder-mounted missile pods.
Hold on, let me
use them for a quick lateral evade.
A riot barricade so that they can generate presence and they can generate almost like aggro for their team.
Prime ability is Search and Destroy, which activates shoulder-mounted missile pods that fire heat.
We saw this last week, the shoulder-mounted missile pods. So this is their prime ability, their ultimate kind of thing.
Mounted missile pods.
Right, you have the things for these icons are your missiles.
That fire heat.
And they're X because you just fired them off.
Seeking missiles.
And it looks like when you got your ultimate ability, this HUD pops up, right? And you see the timer there. And it kind of shows you where enemies are on your interface.
Have a way to lock down targets over sustained fire, which immobilizes them and allows your team
Maybe that was
to
the
follow
lock
up.
on. Maybe? Anyway, no.
Our assassin shell is built for players that like to play slow and quiet. It's very much a classic, backline infiltrator. It has a dive ability that can be used to negate fall damage from any height.
Their tactical ability is invisibility. You pull this shroud of invis over yourself. You can sprint during it, you can mantle during it, but the faster you move, the more visible you're gonna become. And if you take any actions, heal, shoot, get shot, you'll reveal yourself for a short duration.
This is probably gonna be one of the more used shells in the game, I think, just because of the invisibility. I mean, an extraction shooter where, if you die, you lose all your stuff. Invisibility is definitely something that could help prolong your run for sure.
Their prime ability sends out this disc. It creates this plumes of smoke that you can enter into, and then when combined with their passive shroud, they go invisible when they enter smoke.
when they enter smoke, they become invisible. That's not exclusive to their ability that you just saw there, where he threw a disc and it just shot out a whole thing of smoke. But smoke grenades too, I believe. If you just throw a regular old smoke grenade and you go into the smoke, he becomes invisible.
The whole thing here is,
again, if I'm wrong, just let me know.
Like, be invisible, be sneaky, and then enshroud the world in smoke.
Recon. I gotta say, this is probably the one that I'm more like. I feel like this is probably the shell I'm gonna start with, or like do more of, because I like the look of it. I like the abilities of it. So, and this one was also used to be called Blackbird, which I think is such a cool name, but it's called Recon now.
Originally, Recon was called internally Fun Police. That really is the core kind of fantasy. It's about hunting people down. It's about playing detective. If you want to find all the assassin shells on the map, Recon is the shell you want to use. It comes with a tracker drone that you can toss out a little spider friend.
The counteractive of assassin, because you can pinpoint where the invisible people are.
That crawls along the ground and will track towards enemies and explode. And that explosion overheats the target.
They can't move, they can't sprint, they're taking tick damage, which is really and they like help you lock down a target so you can pursue them. And for their prime, Recon has this really awesome helmet that splits open, and they tap in these cool key codes. It opens up and pulses, and it sends out this like wave that detects both AI and play.
Oh, and it even shows. Oh, look at I never really paid attention to the HUD when they do the.
Recon has this really awesome helmet that splits open, and they.
Threats detected 3. Sending pulses 6.
Tap in these cool key codes. It opens up and pulses, and it sends out this
5,
like wave.
4. So like it sends out multiple pulse. It's not just that initial pulse, but it sends more than one. And I guess if like you're running around and more enemies come within the vicinity of your pulses, you're gonna see more threats.
That detects both AI and players and marks them for you.
And when you break the shield of somebody as a Recon shell, they leave holographic footprints behind. So even if they run away, you can follow that trail and they'll lead right to them.
And then
now right there is really cool too. If the Recon shell break the shield of someone else, they leave behind those footprints that you can see, and I'm pretty sure your team can see as well.
And finally, awareness, where if you get pinged, it'll actually tell you that someone like sees you. You won't know where, but you'll be able to be on high alert that somebody saw you and has marked you.
That's another cool thing too. Is like right there, you'd be like, "Oh shit, someone sees me. Be more alert." Another thing that Recon does that I've learned that they don't show here is unless it's a core, maybe it's a core for Recon. But if you finish someone off, right, you do the execution when someone goes down, and if you're in squads or teams or whatever, you do the finish, and the person you just killed, their teammates are pinged. Like you automatically just ping their teammates for you and your team. So for situations like that, you get someone down. If you have a Recon on your team, just let them go and let the Recon come in, finish them off, and then you can see where the rest of their team is and go and finish them off there like that.
Vandal is our shell that is, just by its very nature, more agile than our other shells. It has microjets that let it do a double jump. It has a power slide that goes much further than our normal sprint slide.
Their prime overloads their movement system so they can commit and chain all those actions together. They're about getting in and out, causing chaos.
Bildar, what up? I'm doing good, man. How you?
The arm cannon for Vandal unfolds.
Watching more Marathon
and you
stuff.
Find a big ass gun barrel inside. You can use it to knock people out of cover. You can use it to knock people off of buildings, which is way more fun than.
See that? So Vandal's like the quick, agile shell. You can get in and out of situations very quickly. But then their prime, I think he said their prime ability, right?
Side. Vandal unfolds, and you find a big ass gun barrel inside. The arm cannon for Vandal unfolds.
I think it's the prime
and you
ability.
find a big-ass gun barrel inside. You can use it to...
So you see it pushed the person out of cover.
Knock people
it
out
does
of
some
cover.
damage
You can
too,
use it to knock
but
people off of
essentially it's
buildings,
like
which is way
you're
more fun
pushing
than
that guy
knocking
off.
out cover.
The number of times we've knocked people off of field maintenance is like, is a great thing.
Let's see, there you go. And now in that situation, you have the high ground. You're good playing Kingdom Come Deliverance for the first time. Ooh, that's exciting. I haven't played those games before. I've only heard good things though. That's exciting. I appreciate you popping in. I'll give you a quick shouty before we hit play again.
Marathon is...
So this is Thief. This is now getting into one of the newer shells. So before in other trailers and stuff, Bungie only really talked about the first 4 we just saw: Destroyer, Assassin, Recon, and Vandal. And now we're getting into like the newer ones.
A game that is all about finding the best stuff on the map. So we felt like we needed to have a shell that was sort of built for the loot goblin fantasy. That is Thief to a T. Thief's trade ability is X-ray visor. Where you flip down your visor, you can see containers through walls. You can see enemies that are within line of sight.
Their prime is pickpocket drone, where they deploy this like elegant origami mechanicalized butterfly. It has like a mechanical whip that it can send out, and that knocks loot out of both players and AI, and then it can suck that loot back up with the same whip. Or you...
Thief's got a drone that you can throw out control. Mind you, you're leaving yourself exposed. But you can literally take something out of someone's pocket. It's random, but you can take something out of someone's pocket and just snatch it up and book it and just steal something. Hence the name of Thief.
You can use it for recon. You can fly around, you can ping. Those pings are shared to your squad.
The Thief shell also has...
Like Assassin's Creed or something, you gotta throw the bird out and you're like pinging enemies. Essentially like, you know, giving yourself more information of where enemies are to you and your team.
Has a built-in grappling device that is embedded right in the forearm. You shoot out a dart. Mid-flight, it unfolds into this propeller that pulls you along and you swing away to safety.
The recharge rate for their grapple and their base handling and stats will go up as you fill the backpack. So the idea is to become a loot goblin, right? Steal as much as you can and get out.
That was sick. That was a sick move. They got extraction going, and they're getting pushed by their players.
Steal as much as you can and get out.
This person's like, oh, they're about to, you know, they're probably on their team, and they got a countdown on their HUD, right? They're probably saying like 3, 2, 1, and just go run it.
The triage shell is our shell for support players. If you want to keep your allies kicking so they can kick back, we have triage for you.
They're equipped with these awesome like capacitive gauntlets where you activate them and then you can overcharge them and send out these tendrils that then like shock you back to life.
Yeah, like we saw in the ViDoc, right? The tendrils, like you said, and bring your teammate up.
Their tactical ability, they actually have these giant drones attached to the legs and they pull them out, and it's a little buddy, he's got a little face, and you give him a high five and send him on his way, and he'll come and hover over your shoulder and provide you with shields and health.
So the dude's got a drone. Thank you for the alert, Kitty. Drive safe. That essentially, like, I guess, replenishes health and shields over time. But not only can you use it for yourself, but you can throw it on your teammates. You can see, like, this guy's got one, she's got one.
Triage is really a combat medic, so we knew we needed to give an ability that was useful for firefights.
So in that one, that guy's probably like,
is really a combat
oh shit, I'm about to die. And this guy's all right, here you go.
So we knew we needed to give an ability that was useful for firefights.
They've got 2 traits. The first one is a trait ability called Battery Overcharge, where they overcharge their capacitive gauntlets, which makes their weapons performance better. And if you're using battery weapons specifically, breaking shields will EMP targets, and that becomes an on-ramp to like a whole new layer of build crafting.
Oh, damn.
And then they have the second trait, Shareware, which is really cool, which is any buddies that have medi drones on them, any consumable you use will get like copied to them. So
That's cool too. That's cool. So the drones are not only healing, but it's like if you heal yourself, this guy's gonna get healed too.
You kind of almost are this like battle medic that's like constantly running.
Yeah, see, he's getting healed down here.
Triage on your team.
The support shell. Here we go. Here's Rook. Here's the solo guy.
Sometimes you just want to take a breather after a bunch of runs and just kind of go on a run to just see what happens. And Rook is really fun for that.
Picking Rook automatically opts you into queuing in solo. You're able to enter into a match in progress, and you're given a starting kit. You're not allowed to bring anything in. That's almost to your advantage because you risk nothing, and anything you take out is yours to keep.
Instead of focusing on like progression and questing and things of that sort, it's a mode where we make it easy.
Yeah, so you just heard him say, instead of focusing on progression and questing, so with Rook, you can't do quests. You can't progress through your quest lines of, you know, the factions and stuff, the different missions you can take. So this is essentially like just, you want to go in there, get more stuff for your vault, you're down on your luck kind of thing, and just focus on getting more stuff so you can get back on your feet and go in for a run with a regular shell.
Easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible and get out with it so that you can populate your vault a little bit more for future runs.
Rook has a tactical ability that lets it blend in with UESC forces. So you activate it, a little mask appears over your face, and you are not perceived by the UESC as hostile. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
So as Rook, you can disguise yourself as a UESC bot, essentially. So you can just go through, you know, contested zones with you know, the bots patrolling and stuff and not have to worry about fighting them. So that could be like, you know, could be to your advantage. You find another team of players and you're in an area with UESC bots and, you know, you run into an area with the bots and just hit the ability. They don't attack you, they attack the players following you. PlayStation thing, what is it? Is it gameplay or the state of play is going to show off games from different developers, but Marathon specifically is they're gonna show some stuff during the state of play, but then also after the state of play, there's gonna be a gameplay live stream for Marathon as well.
One of the things that I've really enjoyed about Rook is the added tension. Midway through a session, even though you've known like a few crews got taken out, or maybe you've taken out crews yourself, you don't know how many new players get injected through Rook.
Ultimately, Rook is a morality test, so you have a couple of options when you see a Rook. Either you're a decent person and you drop them a piece of loot and let them be on their merry way, or you are a monster and you blast them in the face. And I'm not going to say which one I am. I blast a lot of Rooks.
Yep. That's an extraction shooter, right? Can you trust anybody, you know? And with that, you know, with the runner shells and stuff, they did put out like some shorts about Rook. Bungie's been putting out a lot of shorts every day on their Marathon socials and stuff. I highly recommend checking those out because they're really cool. Just showing off more like gameplay clips or like introducing the different factions, stuff like that. But I put up some where just showing off Rook.
Hello, may I assist you? I am.
So here's a runner. This is a recon. They're a recon, right? They're doing a run. All of a sudden, a Rook shows up.
Hello.
I have seen you.
Hello, Rook.
How are you doing?
I am doing all right.
I do not have any loot, but
You have no loot? Well, we.
Here's the thing people have asked, and I'm curious to know. I'm not getting my hopes up for this, but Rook talks like he's like a droid or something, right? I wonder if there's like some kind of like in-game voice changer, or if this is something they just did for this clip or this, you know, for marketing purposes or something, because that would be very interesting.
You can't have that here.
Does that mean anything? This is very welcoming.
We also got ads coming up in a minute, so just a heads up.
Welcome to the game, sir. No, I'm not gonna kill you. That would be rude. Why would I give you loot then kill you?
You are correct.
I'm not a monster.
Well, we are robots.
True. There is someone above us if you want to help me chase him down.
The voice was from the player. Bungie confirmed Rook has no voice change stuff to say. Oh, Captain Barrica, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, and thank you for confirming that. Now I know. Sucks, but again, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't getting my hopes up or anything.
Of course, I can help.
Would be cool though if they added that.
Let's go.
But you can always like get a voice changer yourself if you want to do that personally yourself, right? So see, in this instance, they see a Rook and they help them out. This is probably like a solo run, right? And they see a Rook and they're friendly with the Rook.
Thank you. Your services are greatly appreciated.
I am Rook. I am Rook. I am here to assist you.
This is so cool.
Rook is operational. Entering building.
Like, there's probably going to be so many people that play as Rook that are going to act like that. Rook is operational. I am Rook. I'm here to assist you. Stuff like that, right? So, that's interesting. Very interesting. Here's another clip for another short, YouTube short for Rook. This is essentially a team doing a run, and there's a Rook near.
I think it'd be a Rook. I'm pretty sure it's a Rook.
Let him go!
Shoot him. I can't shoot him. I can't shoot him. I see him, but I can't shoot him.
Yeah, he's behind a door.
Oh, he's behind a door.
Hey!
There's like some... Hello!
Hello! No, don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Dude, but I have to.
Don't you do it.
But I have to.
Yeah, see, one teammate's like, no, don't shoot the Rook, you know, be kind to the Rook, and the other guy's like, nah, I gotta kill him.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
But I you can choose another. You can choose another way.
You can do something else. You're evil.
I know. I am evil. There's a quest that like you can get like a knife skin for backstabbing someone. Wave. It doesn't have to be the Rook. Look, he's right here. Oh, he's looking at me.
Evil. That's evil. That's evil.
That's evil. Did I miss my shot? Wrong directive. Back on process. Okay. Run, little Rook, run! Our teammate's gonna kill you.
Is a rookie man in here?
Oh no. Are we taking?
I'm in here.
Nope. I'm in here.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, did the Rook go? I don't know.
There's no shot Pro made it out though.
I think it'd be a Rook. I'm pretty sure it's a Rook.
Yeah, see. So, do you kill the Rook? Do you not kill the Rook? Do you just let him go? Risk it? I don't know. Here's another one. Rook is no pawn. Welcome everybody back from the ads. I appreciate you sticking through them. We just watched Rook Ethics short where a team essentially we were fighting amongst each other to kill a Rook or not. Here's the last of the Rook shorts before we move on to the runner cinematics. See? The Rook saved him. The Rook saves him. But do you trust a Rook? You know? Just as they saved him, they can easily destroy you. So yeah, that was that's stuff about Rook. Again, I'm really curious as to how Rook's gonna be played in the community and after launch and stuff. it'd be cool to be in a run, either solo or team, and have there be like a Rook in acting like that, where like, I'm Rook, I'm here to assist you, and all that stuff. Like that would be so cool. That would be so. So this is a shell cinematic. Bungie put these out to kind of do like a little cinematic trailer for each of the shells. Currently, there's only 2 out right now. And they have said they're going to be doing ones for each of the shells. But it's not going to be like all of them before launch. Some of them are going to be after launch. I'm assuming we're going to get another one soon. But you never know. But anyways, this is the cinematic for the Destroyer shell. I'm afraid that's something like what Rook does when he plays on Showdown. Oh yeah. So it's just a quick little cinematic trailer kind of thing for the Destroyer shell. You can watch like other people break these down a lot better than me. Just a heads up, but essentially, from what I know, like that looks like it's an extraction, like someone just extracted. Yeah, there's the beam. Someone's extracting. Now, this, as you can see, there's a dead recon shell there. But this glowing floating item, I believe, is an artifact. Again, this is like going into the lore. I don't exactly know what the artifacts are. But I'm assuming it's like some kind of like high value item in the game. But there is like lore stuff about what an artifact is in the Marathon universe. See, there's UESC. This is probably like one of the boss spots. This, I believe, is just him being like, either foreshadowing, or it's like him remembering what happened his last run when he came here trying to get the artifact. Thing happened. And maybe going a different route or like a different strategy. As he puts up the shield and blocks the blow. Blocks the missile. So a quick little cinematics there for the Destroyer shell. The next one they did, which was the latest one they did, which was 10 days ago. February 2nd it came out. So it's clearly like it's not like a weekly thing. I think people thought it was going to be a weekly thing where they put out one of these every week. Week and a half, something like that. We'll see. Maybe we'll get another one soon. Maybe we get another one today at the State of Play. Who knows? But this is the Assassin shell. You done? No, I'm not done. This is the Assassin shell cinematic. So this is the shell that like goes invisible, does the smoke, stuff like that. That was cool, right? That was cool. Obviously, the map here is Outpost that he's on, with the fire rain thing that they got going on in the Outpost, the environmental hazards. Right, like Outpost has the Pinwheel building right there, and there's the ability drops down, smoke goes invisible. There's a triage shell, the support shell, the one that heals and stuff. There's the recon shell. Oh, he's invisible. He has the advantage in the fight because they don't know he's there. All of a sudden, this guy, there's the destroyer shell. Obviously, they were most likely a team. They could have been like a different team than this guy, but I'm assuming they were a trio. His buddies go down, and because his buddies just went down, he knows the person's nearby. And again, he's got these invisible, he's got the advantage. The big shot takes him out. Now, yeah, really good job. Like, just minute-long teasers showing off the shells. I know a lot of people are assuming or like expecting like the trailers to kind of be connected somehow. That would be very cool to see if they somehow, like, maybe the next one, you know, whether it be like maybe it's the recon. Maybe the next one they do is the recon, and he uses his ability to find the assassin shell who's invisible. He does it, boom, sees the invisible guy, takes him out, kind of thing. Could be like that. That'd be pretty cool to see. But this is the one of the last videos that we're doing for this segment with the marathon videos for today. Because next week I want to get more into like the lore of Marathon, kind of learning more about like you know, the trilogy games, like what happened there leading up to what's going on in Tau Ceti now for this game. And again, that's like the lore is what pulled me in this game. So this is kind of like jumping into that. This is a cinematic short that they put out last year. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the person who did this worked on Love, Death, and Robots, the Netflix show, which is really cool. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, either in the chat or in the comments on YouTube. But it's 9 minutes long. It's like a short film, just kind of like introducing you to the world of Marathon and some of the characters. And if you've played, you know, other games in the past, you might recognize some voices. I know there is one voice in particular in this short that I recognize. But anyways, here it is. Trust me, this is amazing, in my opinion. I'm just going to get right to it instead of talking.
don't think I've ever known her so cute.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it spoke too well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless hand that mocked them. And the heart that fed.
Welcome once again. Once again. How's the new shell? How's the new shell feeling?
I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah, it's supposed to be my lucky charm.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, that's my mom. That's your mother, your mother.
Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
Music coming in.
Hey, what's that you always tune into? Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is. You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me. first all these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Despair. Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless, alone and level sands stretch far away.
Mr. Beats.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Oh man, we doing good, man. We doing good. Thank you so much for the resub. 49 months. Let's go. Appreciate you. That was the cinematic short for Marathon. We can go over a couple things. Again, I don't know a lot, but what I can go over like what I do know. Obviously, that's Marathon. The Marathon ship in the moon Deimos. And the beginning here. This is when, you know, humans first came to Tau Ceti. They're settling, you know, they got a settlement here. There's the new caloric logo there. How you doing, Beats? UESC right there. And as you can like see here, obviously this is when humans were still like not thriving but still settling in here because obviously we got a human here, and the Marathon is being attacked. Now this is where the lore comes in, and this is the alien race called Before attacking the Marathon ship. And you know, and the colony and stuff. This is essentially the events of during the first Marathon game. I think, right? Could be wrong. Again, any corrections needed, just put them in the chat or the comments. And then we bump ahead, right, the year 2812. Something's going on. This person's not feeling too well. And right here we have a Sphit, another alien race that was enslaved by the Four, floating through a through the Marathon ship, essentially. This is another time jump. And then you jump ahead, you like, what's that, like almost 70 years? What was going on there on the bridge? I don't know. I believe it was something like called they call the anomaly or something. It could be something to do with another alien race that was in the games, the original trilogy, but I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on here. You have like the as the camera comes in, see that kind of like, you know, you're going through some kind of like barrier. And obviously outside the bridge, like you got the freaking car floating and stuff, so. And then jump ahead and you got the runner shell being, you know, being created with the worms. And And then boom. There you have glitch. One of the runner shells glitch.
I met a traveler from an antique land who...
The voice you're hearing is Ben Starr, who, like, it hasn't been confirmed by Bungie. At least I'm pretty sure it hasn't been officially confirmed, but everyone's pretty much dead set that this is Durandal, one of the big characters in the Marathon story, an AI that goes rampant and essentially wants to be free of the constraints that the UESC put on him when they created him, and he wants to escape. Not only escape, you know, the UESC control or whatever, but he wants to escape the universe and become God.
Who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them,
now,
half sunk."
You recognize the beginning of the video. This was the vehicle that the people were driving in on when Marathon was being attacked. There's the colony that they were driving in front of. Red Giant, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Apple Army.
A shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip.
Now he's looting that car.
Sneer of cold command, till that it sculptor well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless things that mocked them. And the heart that fed.
There's his group there. He's got a destroyer and a recon shell on his team. And he's being an extracting shooter. They're looting.
Welcome once again. Once again. How's the new show?
Now, I believe this is essentially representing like obviously you see Glitch here. He's got a bunch of different skins going, because you can get, you know, different skins in the game. But I believe this is just representing you preparing for a run. You're talking to Oni right now. That's the AI she's talking to.
I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged again.
Sakaguchi is the faction or corporation that makes the runner shells.
Against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah, it's supposed to be my lucky charm.
Recon doing the pulse. These enemies start to fight. Destroyer puts down his barriers. And of course, too much. Bots are too much to handle. That's something that Bungie's been reiterating and trying to do, is making the UESC bots be like not just some like easy enemies that you can just take down easily, but like they're going to be difficult to take care of. I am Chris. What up, man? So, boom. Destroy your shell down.
Her?
Yeah, that's my mom.
What
That's
up?
your mother.
Now,
You know that's
consider
your
this. Do you recognize this child?
Watch, man, just hanging out, watching some Marathon videos, getting hyped for this game.
It's you.
What? Really?
Obviously, like with this game, you're putting your consciousness in the shells, kind of thing. So, like, I guess maybe like they erase your memory, or it could be something else that I'll come back to at the end. Again, I don't know exactly how, but it's just stuff how I'm perceiving based off what I'm seeing. Now you got the team of 3 down to 2. You got the assassin shell and the recon shell still going.
Hey, what's that you always tune into?
The recon voice, the recon shell's voice, I'm like fairly certain you'll probably hear it within here. You'll hear her voice more clear. But this is the voice actor who does the voice of Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars, or more recently in Marvel Rivals. She does the voice of Hela. We play a little ATS today. Nice.
Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it.
And the assassin shell is voiced by the actor who portrays Adam Jensen, I believe his name is. Adam Jensen in the Deus Ex series.
It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
It's just, I feel like it just fits assassin so well.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
Got you up and lurking. All right, Chris, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. No way, love Adam Jensen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's his voice.
It's not my business.
Right? Like, tell me that, like, so good. I love that it's his voice for this show. It just fits it so well.
And this music is. You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Oh. Weren't being aware of your surroundings, got shot. Boom. Assassin here's gonna go invisible. And here comes Glitch. Don't hate me, but this isn't a new game. This is a follow-up to a series. Yeah, Marathon is a trilogy that Bungie did back in the 90s. So this is essentially expanding on and continuing the universe in extraction shooter. There's Glitch, the same character we've been seeing in the beginning of the video. Also, a triage. He's with a triage shell, the support shell, and a thief shell, the one that can throw out a drone and you know, steal weapons and king guys and shit. Old ugly triage skin spotted. Now she's got the music now. Assassin hesitates. And of course, you see someone sniping at you, you freaking run. Music kicks in. There's her ability, the rocket. Gets him down. Continues to run. And of course, it's not just other runners that you should be aware of. Got the picture.
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
And more Durandal narration going on here.
Despair. Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain.
And boom, headshot.
Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless, alone and level sands. Stretch far
There's like, even the beginning of the video showed where Marathon in Deimos, the moon was like intact. And then of course after the 4 comes in and just messes shit up. The damage that's been done to it. And Assassin taken out by Thief, who, if you remember, was part of the squad that Glitch was in. So she clearly saw, like, oh, her teammate's down. Go take care of the person who took her out. Do you recognize this child? Now we see Assassin here in the same situation that Glitch was in earlier. Like I said, this, I'm pretty sure, represents you, like, in the menus, talking to Oni about, like, a mission or stuff going on and getting ready for the next run.
Is that me?
That's the same picture that Glitch was looking at, and Oni said, oh, this is you. So, like, what the hell's up with that? Like, is it you're not remembering, like, the consciousness, like, the person you don't remember who you are kind of thing? Or is it, like, some kind of, like, manipulation on Oni's part or Sakaguchi or any of these factions? You know what I mean? Like, what's that about? So that's it for the cinematic short. Again, you can watch all these videos on the Marathon YouTube channel. But going off of that and like talking about like the voice actor for Adam Jensen being in there, the voice actor for Asajj Ventress being in there, and we saw like Ben Starr, and we saw in the ViDoc, we saw Neil Newbon, Roger Clark. Like, they got some heavy haters on this game in terms of voice acting, and they literally put short out, literally just listing off their English voice cast. So we're just gonna right here, Jennifer English. If you don't recognize that name, Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate 3, Ben Starr right there, Roger Clark, Red Dead Redemption 2. Arthur, right? I believe that is, yeah, that's the guy who does Adam Jensen. And there's gonna be a lot of names here where I don't recognize them by names, but I did do, yeah, Arthur Morgan. I did do some research. I just searched up some of these names to see if there was anything that I recognize personally. Any projects that they worked on. And again, I'm gonna butcher these names. Nika Futterman, that's the Asajj Ventress actress. Erica Lindbeck, she was Black Cat in the Spider-Man games, the ones for like the ones that PlayStation have been doing recently. And also Jessie from Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's part of the crew in Midgar at Seventh Heaven. Reyna, I believe I didn't find anything I recognize for her. Elliot Knight was in Once Upon a Time, The Boys, Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare ones. I didn't find anything for this person. Again, if you guys recognize these names, let me know, because like there's a lot of freaking names here. Morla, she was that was I didn't recognize her name, but when I searched her up, I was like, holy shit. She's Eris Morn. From Destiny, from the Destiny games, Eris Morn. So Bungie just going back and getting some people that they've already worked with, which is something that they do throughout all their games. Like, there's people that were in Halo that are in this game. Alma Hughes. I can't remember if I saw anything for this person. Darren DePaul, though, was in Overwatch, Fallout 76, the new Call of Duty game that came out, Black Ops 7. Lee Shorten was in Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei. Dave Fennoy, you just see here, Dave Fennoy. He was in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2. I know y'all know Mass Effect 2. Okir in Mass Effect 2. He was also in Metal Gear Solid 4 and like literally a bunch of stuff. This dude was in so much stuff. Like video game wise, like for voice acting, so much stuff. Let's see. Samantha Baert. Again, I'm butchering these names. I know I am. This is Karlach from Baldur's Gate 3. Karlach. And a bunch of names. So many, like so many huge names. And Neil Newbon, Astarion. So many freaking names in this damn game, man. It's incredible. And of course, people are saying like, "Oh, this is their this short right here is kind of like them coming back at Arc Raiders, because Arc Raiders had a big thing where they used like AI for voicing their characters. It was either like they used like AI for the whole thing, or they paid other voice actors to like essentially give them their voice for the characters or something like that. But AI was used for their voice actors. So this is like, everyone's saying this is like Bungie's thing of like throwing it back at Arc Raiders, being like, look at the list of names we got for our game kind of thing. But Bungie's known for like all their games. They do a lot of like big names like in their voice acting. Their voice acting is always good in their games. So this is not like a big new like developing thing for Bungie. It's just something that they've been doing, and it's great to see some familiar names in this game, especially like Ben Starr, Jennifer English. Like that's huge, especially coming off Expedition 33. But yeah, that's all the videos we had planned for today. So appreciate y'all for coming in. This is going on YouTube, so if you are watching this on the YouTube side, feel free to leave any comments on anything I might have missed or gotten wrong that needs correcting, because I don't know a lot about this game. I don't know a lot about the lore. I just know that I'm really excited for it. And I'm just like, I'm trying to learn as much as I can.